Deciding when you are coming to Japan, the number one regret people have after visiting Japan, picking the wrong time of the year. Want to see cherry blossoms? Boom, massive crowds. Want to visit in the summer? Boom, it's too hot. That's why you have to choose the right timing. But don't worry. Hi, I'm Kota from Howzit Japan. We've guided over 1,000 visitors across Japan, and in this video, I'm gonna break down all the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. For each one, I will cover the pros and cons, the best experiences, who is best for, and how to make the most of your trip. By the end of this video, you will know exactly when you should visit Japan. Okay, alright, let's get started. Let's start with the most popular season in Japan, spring. Spring is honestly the best time to experience Japan's iconic scenery. Cherry blossoms alone brings visitors from all over the world. The weather is pretty comfortable too, which is why so many first visitors choose the season. But here's something really important. Depending on how you plan your trip, spring can either be the most amazing experience of your life or just a trip full of crowds. It really comes down to how you prepare. Spring runs from March to May. In Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, temperatures are roughly around 10 degrees in March, 40 to 18 degrees in April, and 19 to 20 degrees in May. It's warm during the day, but mornings and evenings can get pretty chilly. A lot of people actually are surprised by that. So make sure you bring a light jacket or something you can layer on. And the crowds, honestly, they can be intense. International tourists all come at the same time, and on top of that, Japanese people travel during Golden Week. That's a big national holiday period at the end of April and into early May. So everything gets crowded all at once. Hotels, activities, tourist spots, book all of this early. When people think of spring in Japan, it's all about cherry blossoms. Here's what I would recommend trying. Daytime hanami, which is basically picking under the cherry trees. Illuminated night cherry blossoms, which look absolutely incredible, and local spring festivals happening around the country. Here's a rough guide for enjoying cherry blossoms. Tokyo blooms around March 19th and hits full bloom around March 28th. Kyoto blooms around March 23rd, full bloom around March 30th. Osaka blooms in late March and reaches full bloom around April 1st. And Fukuoka hits full bloom in late March as well. Personally, I have to say, the cherry blossoms at Himeji Castle are absolutely stunning. Highly recommend it. Just be ready, because it gets really crowded with Japanese tourists too. Now, 3 things to keep in mind about cherry blossoms. First, the blooms travel from south to north, so Kyushu first, then Kansai, then Kanto, then Tohoku, and finally Hokkaido. Second, the timing shifts every single year, so checking the bloom forecast before you go is really important. I recommend the Japan Weather Corporation website for that. Third, the window is short. Full bloom usually only lasts about 1 week, so try not to plan your schedule too tightly around it. Here are some well-known places for cherry blossoms. Okay, this part is really important. First, famous cherry spots get way more crowded than you'd expect, especially around Mount Fuji and parks in central Tokyo. So either find lesser known local spots or try going at off-peak season, likely early morning. This is honestly one of the things Howzit guides do best. We can take you to beautiful spots without the crazy crowds. Second, book your hotel early. Seriously, cherry blossom season sellouts really fast. Third, try not to lock your schedule in too rigidly. Bloom timing changes every year, so having a little flexibility really goes a long way. And finally, Golden Week. Late April to early May means that whole country is on the move. Bullet trains, hotels, tourist spots, everything fills up fast. If you are traveling during this period, you need to plan way ahead. Spring is a great choice if you are visiting Japan for the first time, or if seeing cherry blossoms and iconic Japanese scenery is high on your list. On the other hand, if you don't love big crowds, or if you are trying to keep your budget down, spring might not be the best fit for you. Next up, summer in Japan. I will be honest with you, summer in Japan is tough. The heat and humidity together are no joke. Nature, events, and activities are at their absolute best during this season. Just like spring, it comes down to where and how you plan. Get it right, and it can be an amazing trip. Get it wrong, and you will be just sweating the whole time. Summer runs from June to August. In Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, temperatures are roughly 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, or 68 to 77 Fahrenheit in June, then 25 to 32 Celsius, 77 to 90 Fahrenheit in July. And in August, it goes up to about 27 to 35 Celsius, which is 81 to 95 Fahrenheit. But honestly, the temperature numbers alone don't tell the full story. The most important thing about Japanese summer is the humidity. The average is around 60 to 70%, which makes it feel so much heavier than the temperature suggests. Cities especially can feel pretty brutal. This is the best season for beaches, rivers, and lakes. Water activities are everywhere. Mountain forest areas like Karuizawa and Okutama are also super popular as cool escapes from the city heat. On the flip side, from late July through August, it's summer vacation season in Japan. Tourist spots, theme parks, and resorts get really crowded during this time. Summer is honestly the strongest season for events. Fireworks festivals, summer matsuri like the famous Gion Festival, outdoor events, and water activities. If experiencing Japanese culture is important to you, summer is really hard to beat. Some standout events include the Nagaoka Festival fireworks in Niigata, the Sumida River fireworks festivals in Tokyo, and festivals like Kanda Matsuri and the Sanja Matsuri also in Tokyo. These are generally special experiences. From June through mid-July, Japan has a rainy season called Tsuyu. It rains almost every day, and outdoor plans can fall apart pretty easily. So if you are thinking June is cheap, good enough, just know that you might end up sightseeing in the rain the whole time. And since Japan is a very walkable country, that's actually a bigger deal than it sounds. Japanese summers are hot and humid. There is no getting around it. Cities like Tokyo and Kyoto can feel really rough. But if you are near the ocean or river or up in the mountains, it's a completely different story. The coast and water areas are actually fun in the heat, and mountains and forest areas stay surprisingly comfortable. So if you are someone who wants a different side of Japan, or a family looking to enjoy outdoor activities in nature, summer can actually be a really good choice. The key to a good summer trip is very simple. Either avoid the heat or lean into it. For example, you could enjoy a beach resort in Izu or Atami, do water activities at Lake Biwa or along the river, spend time in cool areas like Karuizawa, Okutama, or Hokkaido, or visit a water-themed amusement park. Plans like these make a huge difference in how much you enjoy the trip. Personally, I love swimming in rivers with my friends and hitting up saunas. So I would also recommend trying some local summer activities. It's a kind of thing you can't experience anywhere else, and it really makes the trip memorable. Okay, a few important ones here. First, avoid planning a trip that's mostly walking around the cities. It's genuinely exhausting in summer heat. Instead, try moving around in the mornings and evenings, and take a break in the middle of the day. Also, using taxis or private cars makes a surprising difference when it comes to energy levels. Stay hydrated. This is not optional. The combination of heat and humidity makes heat stroke a real risk. And finally, mid-August is peak vacation time for Japanese people. Similar to Golden Week, hotels, bullet trains, and tourist spots are especially packed during this period. Summer is a great fit if you love the outdoors, want to relax in nature, or have your heart set on experiencing a Japanese festivals or fireworks event. On the other hand, if you don't handle the heat well, I will be straight with you. Summer is probably not your best option. Japan is incredibly exciting, but planning a trip there can honestly be overwhelming. There is so much to figure out. Where do you go? How many days you need? Which experiences to book? Which hotels are worth it? Trying to figure out on your own takes a lot of time, and it's no easy. That's why exactly we offer our travel concierge service. Our local experts have guided over 1,000 visitors across Japan, and we will take care of the entire planning process based on what you are looking for, from building your itinerary to booking experiences and recommending hotels. We handle everything. If you want to enjoy Japan without the stress and have a trip that's truly designed for you, feel free to reach out. We would love to help. Now let's talk about what I think is the most well-rounded season in Japan. Autumn. The weather, the scenery, the overall experience, everything just comes together. A lot of people say it's the easiest season to travel in Japan, and I would have to agree. And the biggest draw? fall foliage, just like cherry blossoms. It's one of the most iconic things you can see in Japan, and you can enjoy it all across the country. Autumn runs from September to November. Temperatures are roughly 23 to 30 Celsius, or 73 to 86 Fahrenheit in September. Then 15 to 25 Celsius, 59 to 77 Fahrenheit in October. And November drops about 10 to 18 Celsius, which is 50 to 64 Fahrenheit. Compared to summer, the humidity drops a lot, so it feels so much more comfortable. Just keep in mind that even if the daytime is warm, mornings and evenings can get pretty chilly, so layering is a good idea. This is simply the most beautiful season for nature in Japan. Fall foliage, temples and gardens, mountain scenery, everything peaks at the same time. And unlike summer, the comfortable temperatures make it perfect for hiking, just wandering around at your own pace. From late October through November, it's peak tourist season. Kyoto in particular gets really crowded. The famous foliage spots can get very crowded at peak times, but the scenery is also genuinely stunning. So if you've never experienced it before, I would still strongly recommend it. For events, there is a lot happening culturally too. Illuminated foliage at night in temples and gardens, autumn festivals, harvest and food events, and art and exhibition events. It's a really rich time to visit. This is the most important part. With fall foliage, timing is everything. Even within November, if you go too early, the leaves are still green, and if you go too late, they've already fallen. It happens more often than you'd think. So checking the foliage forecast before you go is really important. Just like cherry blossoms, the Japan Weather Corporation website gives you pretty accurate predictions. Also, foliage moves from north to south in Japan. September to October is the best time for Hokkaido and Tohoku, October to early November for the Kanto region, and mid to late November for Kansai, so Kyoto and Osaka. One more thing, because of the temperature difference, mountains tend to change color areas than the cities, and the scenery there can be absolutely gorgeous. Let me be real with you about popular tourist spots. Take Kyoto for example. Places like Arashiyama, Kiyomizu-dera, and Toho-Fukuji gets extremely crowded during foliage season. The quiet, peaceful scenes you see in photos, those are basically not what you experience. You have to go in with the mindset that the crowds are part of it. My top recommendation is to choose your areas carefully before you go. Places like Kyoto, Nikko in Tochigi, Hakone with its hot springs and foliage combination, the area around Mount Fuji like Lake Kawaguchi, and Daisetsuzan in Hokkaido. These are all fantastic options. Night illuminations are also really worth doing. Some spots that aren't normally open in the evening run special foliage illumination events at night. And since fewer people tend to go at night, it's often a much more relaxed experience than during the day. And my biggest recommendation of all is combining city and nature in the same trip. Something like Tokyo plus Nikko or Kyoto plus a nearby mountain area. That kind of combination lets you enjoy both urban sightseeing and nature, and it makes the overall trip so much more satisfying. First, always check the foliage forecast. And if your dates are already fixed, try to build in some flexibilities around which locations you visit. If you are going to Kyoto, aim for either early morning or the light illumination events. Those are your best bets for avoiding the worst of the crowds. Popular spots can also get crowded on weekdays, not just weekends, so book in advance where you can. And if that's not possible, give yourself extra time and don't rush. And again, mornings and evenings can get very chilly, so make sure you can layer up. Autumn is a great fit if you want to see fall foliage, prefer comfortable weather for traveling, want a good balance of nature and city, enjoying hiking or just walking around, or are really drawn to classic Japanese scenery like temples and gardens. On the other hand, if you really don't like crowds, especially in Kyoto, if your schedule is completely fixed and you can't be flexible, or if budget is your top priority, autumn can be a little tricky. Last up, winter in Japan. Yes, it's cold, but that's actually what makes it so special. Snow, hot springs, and amazing food. Those are the three big highlights of this season. And outside of the New Year holiday period, crowds are much smaller, which makes winter one of the most underrated times to visit Japan. Winter runs from December to February. In Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, temperatures are roughly 5 to 12 Celsius or 41 to 54 Fahrenheit. In December, January drops to about 2 to 10 Celsius, which is 36 to 50 Fahrenheit, and February is around 3 to 11 Celsius, or 37 to 52 Fahrenheit. Now, if you are heading to Hokkaido, Tohoku, or mountain areas, temperatures below freezing and completely normal. Mornings and evenings especially can feel really cold. The main things this season is known for are snow scenery, skiing and snowboarding, and hot springs. Hot springs are particular are just on another level in winter. There is something about soaking in a hot onsen when it's cold outside that feels incredibly good, and it's a perfect way to unwind after a day of exploring. Outside of the New Year period, crowds are pretty smaller. Even popular cities like Kyoto and Osaka feel much more relaxed, and you can actually take your time. For events, winter has some really unique ones. The Snow Festival in Hokkaido, New Year celebrations like Hatsumode, winter illuminations, and traditional Japanese New Year culture. These are experiences you really can only have in winter. Winter is less about checking off the tourist spots and more about what you actually do while you are there. Things like skiing or snowboarding, staying at the ryokan with the onsen, taking in snow scenery, and eating seasonal winter food. That's what this season is really about. And skiing and snowboarding here in Japan are actually a world class. Places like Hokkaido, Niigata, and Nagano get really busy with visitors who come specifically for the snow and activities. This is one of the biggest draws of winter. Niseko and Hakuba are internationally famous ski destinations, and people come from all over the world for the powder snow. Beyond skiing, Shirakawa-go is stunning with its traditional Japanese farmhouses completely covered in snow, and Zao is famous for its incredible snow monsters, which are these massive frost-covered trees that look like something out of a fantasy. If you love the snow, this is absolutely your season. If you really want to go all in one winter, Hokkaido is a place to be. The scale of snow there is just on a different level. The Sapporo Snow Festival in early February is a highlight. Giant snow sculptures, ice carvings, things you really can't see anywhere else. If you want to feel like you are experiencing true Japanese winter, Hokkaido is where that happens. This is another big win for winter. If you avoid the New Year holiday period, you get smaller crowds and lower hotel prices. Kyoto especially becomes a very different place in winter. Quiet, calm, and honestly really beautiful. If you want to experience Japan the way it feels day to day, winter in Kyoto is surprisingly special. Winter is hands down the best experience for onsen. Soaking in a hot spring when it's cold outside is a genuinely memorable experience. Places like Kinugawa Onsen tend to be less crowded in winter, so they are worth looking into. And the food in winter is fantastic. Hot pot dishes, fresh seafood, seasonal ingredients. If eating well is part of your travel experience, winter delivers. Warm clothes are essential. Coat, gloves, layers. Don't skip on these. A scarf on the hat are also a good idea. If you are going to a snowy area, make sure you have shoes with good grip. It makes a real difference. Also, snow can cause delays or cancellation with trains and buses, so build some extra time into your schedule and don't plan things too tightly. And for the New Year period, from late December to early January, many Japanese people are off work, so popular spots get crowded and some shops or restaurants close. Just something to keep in mind. Winter is a great fit if you want to travel without big crowds. Love the idea of relaxing in the hot spring or staying at the traditional ryokan, into skiing or snowboarding. Want to experience Japanese winter events or New Year culture, enjoy food as a big part of travel, or want to see a quieter, more peaceful side of Kyoto and other cities. On the other hand, if you really don't handle cold well, want to avoid weather-related disruptions, or need a very tight and predictable schedule, winter might not be the best season for you. So that was all 4 seasons in Japan. Have you decided which season is best for you? Let me know in the comments. We hope you make the right choice. Make sure to check out our website for Travel Concierge. Link in the description. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. I will see you in Japan. Bye. Howzit?